I know. What's up, Chris? So today, Patreon is a special treat. Hold on a second. Let me get this thing set up. And that is because, for once, you've got two of us on here, which doesn't usually happen. So, as people show up, I know we got one of you on here, although it didn't say so. Mic check. Is it not working? Testes. David, can you hear us? I think Christopher's having a problem hearing us. I want to know if it's us. Oh, no, I'm fine. Okay. Woohoo! Had me worried. So you have both of us on here today. So anyway, this is kind of a chance if you want to pick his brain and not just mine, you can, which is great because usually it's always me. Kurt may be homicidal. Well, did you not see Kurt kill something recently? You know what I mean? So there is that. He's a little homicidal. And he's probably thinking, he's stuck in my face for all the comments are all over it, but on theirs it doesn't show up that way, I don't think. Maybe it does. I don't know. Oh, shit, you missed that. I am really sorry you missed that. I did put them already back in the incubator. So what that was it was the black pastel banana bred to our Calico Blitz female. So... yes.
Is that the best bow you got? No. I have 7 bows.
I think that's what the best one to get. Small rating. What is the best bow to get?
Oh, the best bow to get? Matthews, I think. I like Matthews.
And Christopher, I don't know yet. I mean, we're dealing with shit nobody's seen. So until they crawl out the egg, it's going to be really hard to know what we got. We have 2 that definitely have banana. We have 2 that definitely don't. There's nothing normal looking in the clutch. So I really think we're going to do well. One of them I have pretty high hopes for being at least a banana blitz calico. That, which is what I really need. I need a banana blitz calico. If I can get the 4th gene in there, all the better. But be kind of neat.
Bowtech bows are good. They're just really hard to work on, and I don't like the company. They're difficult to order and get parts from.
And Blythe, maybe. But what I mean is, it hasn't been laid yet. That's the only blitz that's been laid. Now, I did breed blitz to black pastel again, to go with some, or not black pastel, sorry, to calico again. We're waiting on her. I also bred it to Orange Dream for the 2nd year in a row. So if Orange Dream doesn't go, I'm going to have to move that project in a different direction, unfortunately. But we're hoping for more blitz, but right now, that's the only clutch that we got. Oh, rat question. That's all you. Let me take a drink of beer. I like when I get to sit back and drink beer. It's kind of nice, you know.
I like to keep ours no hotter than like 80, 85, and we keep fans in there to circulate air around. 80, I don't know.
Dude, I don't know.
80 to 85 is the highest I would. Once they get up to 90, then they stop breeding.
To get some bloods? He keeps doing it. I keep telling him, you got to work with them little bastards. Although, Corey's is nice, so, you know, we'll see. We'll eventually do some bloods.
Yeah. It depends on your size of tubs. Like, we have a pretty big, they're
from
ARS,
ARS
ones, and we keep 1 male to 3 females, but 1 to 2 on the smaller tubs works really well.
So it's all about giving enough room, basically.
Yeah, you don't want to overcrowd them.
You're also going to see another post today on Patreon. I've already made it, but it's scheduled to post at 8 p.m. And it's basically a poll. So what I want to know is for those of you who are going to Florida, and I think there's a handful who have expressed interest in going there, if you guys would like to do, thank you, Pride of Texas. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, we get what we really want in there. If we can get that 4-banger as a male, I'll be honest, guys, he's going in my pocket. I'll just tell you straight up now. And I'll tell you why, though. This is why. So, like, let me get back to the Florida thing, and then I'll come back and I'll explain why I'm keeping that. Because that way you know where my head's at, and you can see how it's going to benefit down the road. But that post is going to have a poll. And basically, if you guys do want to get together and do, like, a dinner while we're in Florida sometime, it's kind of a pick the date. And whoever votes for whatever date gets the most votes as a date, we'll do the dinner. I mean, there's advantages to all. Friday is good, but I'm going to be really dog-ass tired, so you may get loopy, Matt, because we're driving through the night from Thursday to Friday. Saturday night would be good too, but there's also the auction Saturday 8 to midnight, and I'm definitely going to want to be there, so we'll kind of have to try to cram it in really quick. And then Sunday we could do it right after the show, but I know some people are getting on the road. What I'm trying to figure out is how many people we have. That way I can go ahead and set a reservation somewhere. We can kind of know where we're all going somewhere on location and not be stuck waiting for 2 hours for a table, especially if it's on a Saturday and we're trying to get that auction. Oh, hell yeah. I got a list of crap we're looking for. We'll see what's there and then see what tickles my fancy. And if Kurt doesn't go, we've kind of discussed a budget. No reservations needed at the Waffle House. Very good point. And we're not talking going high end. I'm talking like a freaking Applebee's or some shit, right? So it'll be, and no, I'm not looking for bloods while I'm there. But back to this animal we're looking at keeping. So if we hit that animal, why am I keeping it? Well, if you remember, we bought a pastel leopard, possible super leopard, not too long ago. And she's breed size. So if I can get a male, and I've only seen one, Tall Grass had it. I didn't buy it. It's one of those animals you look at and you go, I want to make that. And it was a banana leopard blitz. And it was phenomenal animal. But I'm thinking if I can make a banana leopard blitz, throw in some calico and maybe darken it a shade with the black pastel, woo! So that's where we're going, right? That would be awesome to do. But you're not the one in Florida, though, I don't think, Jim. You're still in Missouri, right? Now, the other green tree is a possibility, David. That is something I'm going to have my eye on. You stop checking to see. Well, we're going to do it. We're always going to do a Patreon live. We do live on YouTube. It's a commitment we've made. It's something we'll do. We got other filming to do tonight, but we're never going to skip out on that. You can see he's as talkative in real life, too.
Yeah, you're doing all the talking.
Well, I'll give you a chance.
I know. I talked a little bit.
I try, guys. Yes, we do have blackhead, Lindsay. We have a female blackhead we bought at the same time as a pastel leopard. She was a little smaller, but she's coming along. Now, the Suma, I do have big plans for the Suma. The Suma is going to be hitting her female banana for sure. So if the black pastel banana stuff doesn't work out, then we're going to go that route. Super black pastel, I guess I should say. We're going to go that route to get to her all lavender snake. So Suma's got a job there. I don't think what I keep this year will be ready for this coming breeding season, but the Suma will. So Suma to the pastel leopard's a possibility. And then, we'll have to kind of see what else he does. He'll probably get 3 women and be cut off at that. Not to mention, I can go ahead and tell you guys this. I am quite certain that the Suma will be on the list for voting purposes for this year's upcoming Patreon clutch that we always do. Last year, I think we had the scaleless head, the banana black pastel on there. And I think this year it'll probably still be the scaleless head in case anybody's interested. And then probably also have the Suma, and I don't know what else we'll put on there for choices.
Banana pies.
Do we have banana pies?
Said any banana pies.
Oh, no. Actually, we haven't started working on that ever. So our pies right now are just pies because we were working on keeping them very, very orange. We have 2 females growing up. We'll start mixing in some other genes. And then I have a het female, but I haven't looked for banana to it yet. But we might end up doing that. We do have clowns coming, David. And Andrew, the Freeway is not going to be ready this year. She was she was a brand new hatchling when we got her. We've only had her a year, I think, right? But
she's a year coming up this September.
Yeah, but she's doing really good. I'm very happy with her progress in her first year. So, but she's going to take at least another year, probably 2. Probably take her 3 years, which is normal to get ready. I haven't even looked at Stranger, and here's the thing. You take Stranger and you put it to Stranger and you get that same super look, then maybe, then maybe. But until I see that or until somebody pairs it, I'm not going to say they're the same. I just have no experience with Stranger at all. And we are going to be doing pumpkin pies, and I feel greatly about True Ghost. We're actually working on that. The Darkness, David's favorite snake there, it is het True Ghost, and so is the brother. So we are working on True Ghost, but it happens to also be that possible dark gene. He says he likes the same genes. I just put my chipotle on this. Well, exactly. You know what? It's time to change that sign, though. We will have to do that sometime.
We're gonna move to the new house.
Well, yeah, we should move it. We got to figure out something to put on it, though.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm going to stick it in the new house either.
On the wall.
Where it's going to be a spot.
On the wall.
Where there's no racks. Lindsay, I don't know, man. That snake's confused the ever-loving hell out of me. Like, I can't ever tell what she's doing. I thought she was going to. And then now, I mean, you look and there's a swell there. But I'm not for sure. It's just so hard to tell with her. I hope she does, don't I, baby girl? Because she would be an awesome project. I mean, here's the thing. There's so much going on there, even without the dark part. You know, because she's bred to a spider male that's also het true ghost. So we're going to get chairs banging into each other. We're going to get exanthics. We're going to get ghosts. We're going to get true ghosts. We're going to get all kinds of stuff from there. So I'm really excited about it. I can't control it. Super Orange Dream Clowns. That's a bit off. I'm not going to say no to that. That'd be pretty awesome. The Blackhead Declitz. And I agree, Jeremy, that would be a very interesting thing. Here's the problem. The Calitz is female, the Blackhead's female. So, I mean, while we're going to work towards that type of goal, eventually, it's going to be a ways off. What I'm really looking at now is making that Calitz brighter. I want to bring in more orange. And if this year comes, you know, one thing I'll probably look at putting to it is we have, I think it's a pastel orange dream male, or is that the female? I'd have to look. We have two orange dreams. I can't remember which one the male is.
The male is just the orange.
Just the orange dream. So that's a possibility. You know, depending on how these babies come out here, if I don't get what I want, going back to banana black pastel is a possibility. It's just going to end up kind of being what's going to happen. Want to see the clits better? You want to be able to see. Yeah, I know that orange in the tail is always kind of fascinating to me, so I want to bring that out and amplify it. Is where I'm really wanting to go. Now, the banana portion of that was more just because I think that will go really well when I want to go to that leopard. So, any ghost clutches this year? None laid so far, but we have bred some, and this is such a weird late season. I'm still waiting on at least 8 clutches. We have a single ghost we've bred, we have our lesser ghost we've bred, and then of course the darkness is het true ghost. So we're hoping to have some ghost clutches, but man, this year's got me befuddled. That's the word of the day, befuddled.
I think the lesser ghost has the best possibility.
Well, let's pull her out. She's big, no doubt about it.
But she's been eating too.
But she's been eating. That's what I was going to say. And that's what kind of throws me for a loop on her, is the fact that she's been feeding. I mean, you can see her size. It's pretty massive. I don't have a lot of tail stuck in there. So I don't know. I mean, but she's definitely got a big back end. A lot of junk in the trunk. It's a good chance. I mean, it's a good chance. Oh, I see what you did there. That's disgusting. Hey, get back in there. Get back in there. Let me grab my water dish really quick. So, you know, our regular ghost, this will be her second year of not having babies. See, that side picture looks really good, though, if she doesn't go. So, you know, it's just going to be kind of a we'll see is the best answer I got for you guys on that, unfortunately, is a we'll see. Things I do know are going to go, or I'm pretty certain on. I'm pretty certain on our Killer Bee, which is bred to our scaleless head Lemon Blast. Pretty certain there. Pretty certain on Andromeda, which is albino to their Toffinos. Pretty certain on our Bumblebee with Calico again this year. Pretty certain on Celine, which would be in our Bell Clutch. Pretty certain on our Yellow Belly Fire, which is also bred to our scaleless head Lemon Blast. And then I also think we're going to get at least, well, I think we're going to get 2 more clown collections. So we are going to have a lot of clowns. I would imagine probably 13 or 14 clowns this year.
I hope so.
You hope so? That's a lot of hope. This is his hopeful face. That's his happy face. There's an angry face. You know, because truthfully, the reason I didn't do that is I do think an Xanthic Scaleless would be awesome. But I'm very, very focused on like my first goal, which was the Killer Zebra Bee Xanthic, and everything pushes to that. Now, coming up in a few years, we may be doing something like that, but kind of look at it as, man, I could do that and I could try to cash in, or I can stay focused on the goal that I always had. And I chose to stay focused on the goal that I've always had. Next, add to the clowns, Kurt. What do you think?
Inchy.
Inchy? So I'm trying to get him to go super pastel because the killer clowns have a badass name and look good, but he really wants to go Inchy. What about Champagne? We got that Inchy Champagne female.
No.
Use her to make some heads. I want you guys to know, should we do Inchy Champagne to the clown? Scaleless head Xanthic Killer Bee. I would love one of those. But we don't have the parts to do that yet. We have them all, but we got to get some things grown up. You know, Blythe, breeding for me is going to be dictated by what the animals are doing. And up until like this year here, you know, I'm a little bit worried that we are not going to be able to start as early as I'd like with most of my females. I'll have to go by when they laid and make sure the rest of them get back up to size and then layer that in. But I think the more animals we have, is going to start turning into more of a focus on year-round breeding rather than seasonal breeding. And then there's going to turn into a point of like probably trying to find a way to rotate my males. And I've even thought of I may have to run a few male racks off-site in the main house just to take males away from the pheromones to get them back up to size. If it's a constant breed cycle for them, that isn't always going to be good. So like I'll have to play with it to figure out what's exactly the best, but they dictate what I do. I didn't pick seasonal because I picked it. I picked it because they told me it was what I was going to do. And when they tell me I'm going to do different, I'll do different. An orange dream, orange dream Inchy would be good, but what about, you don't like the Champagne clown Inchies?
No, that'd be fine. We only have the clown male, then that's a female.
Yeah, sometimes we could do that.
Then we have the Inchy male we could do to the orange dream.
Although we might be looking for a new clown male when I'm down in Florida. Not because of the fact that Trouser's a problem. Trouser's great. But the issue comes in is how hard do I want to work Trouser? Now he's a big, big boy. I can work him pretty hard. But he's got the 4 het females, right?
Yeah.
And then we've also got the spider clown. And we've also got the well, we know it's at least a bumblebee het clown. I think probably something else in there. So you got those 6 right there that he's going to be going to. That's working him really, really hard. If we start doing something to make some hats, oh shit, we're starting to work that guy too hard. So we'll probably end up having to get another clown male. I don't want to hold back a clown male. I'd rather not have 2 straight up clown males. So we'll probably end up, that's something on the shopping list. Yeah, no shit. You tell a woman what to do, right? Of course, now we're all going to be in trouble because we got a lot of women in here. Clowns do brown out. That's one thing, you know, too, with the Xanthic clowns, why I've never really pushed for that is when I saw them as babies, they blew me away. When I saw one as an adult, I was kind of like, because they do tend to lose a lot of color. It's just, yeah. And I want to make something that's going to look really good as an adult, not just good as a baby. But browning out is just part of ball pythons. I hadn't really thought of GHI clown, would you? I can't think of any I don't want to stick GHI to, so that's a possibility. You know, I'm still trying to pick what I'm going to do with my GHI Mojave female. If she was ready this year, and she's not, she's young, let's say she was, I would probably be going with the Suma. That's probably where I'd be going. I think some mahogany GHIs would be really cool. And she spider clown would be good. And everybody loves banana clowns and banana pieds. Banana, you know, that gene gets so much hate because of the way it crashed when it first came out. But it sells really, really well. They look good even as adults. And you get things like banana pieds. I mean, they sell. Last time we had banana pieds for sale, they weren't ours. We were selling for a friend of ours in Colorado. We had, I think he sent me with 3 of them, and then I told you. I think we sold them all in 2.5 hours. I mean, they just go. So definitely not a bad way to go. with your pied stuff would be banana. However, I got to make those damn pumpkin pies first for the wife. I promised. Only drinking Coors right now. Yeah, there are a lot of micro brews we like. I mean, here's the thing. I'll drink anything that's dark. Anything that's dark in beer. I should probably specify that. Kurt will drink pretty much any IPA. I don't think you're a family you don't like, have you? I don't do the IPAs. It fucks with my stomach acid. Gives me heartburn real bad. But he's not a big fan of the dark beers. But I am. So, like, we have opposite beer taste. So if something ever shows up, we do drink it. We've had that happened a few times. Coors is my go-to in my fridge. It's just, I like Coors. He's here a lot. He likes Coors. This is like the one beer we can agree on. Although he was, for once, I don't want a beer today. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Usually it's him wanting a beer more than me, actually. But not today, it's me, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Jimmy, yes, we do. But sometimes it's not the same. So, like, if I have a snake that comes in and I'm not sure the source or I'm not overly trusting it, quarantines in my office. We'll set the location there, quarantine it there in a glass tank, and just that's what we'll do. Now, if I have something that comes in and I'm reasonably sure if everything is good, people get overly focused on the quarantine. And what I mean is it's important to quarantine, but it's not important to go to DEFCON 5, all right? Unless you have a reason to. So most things in animals are not airborne, like most of the really nasty shit. So as long as you're disinfecting yourself and disinfecting your animals and you know that there's no mites going on, you're not going to really transition a lot of things. So I have before, I'm not saying you should do this. It's something that we've done because of space a time or two. Done what I call quarantine in room, which means I'll put the animal as far away from other animals as I can, so it's the least likely to contact, and we'll treat it like it's in quarantine. So if it gets opened, we clean. If we touch other things and go to it, we clean. So there's always, ways to do that. Now, certain things I wouldn't keep there long term. Like I say, if I don't know the source, I don't do that. But I have done that a time or two with like animals from, say, tall grass, because I know them dudes. I know how they keep their animals. I've been in their collection. I know what's in there. I know what's not in there. So it doesn't really freak me out on that. What about you? No? But if I go to a show and I buy an animal from some dude I've never met before, whose facility I don't know, or something like that, you can bet your ass it's in a different room. So it's just kind of the way it works. And how long do I quarantine for? It varies. I mean, if the animal shows no signs of problems, it's eating good, it's taking off, everything's rocking and rolling, it goes a lot less. There's only been one time where I feel like quarantining might have saved my ass. But once is enough. We bought this, what was it, pinstripe pastel xanthic?
Something like that.
Yeah, it was a really cool looking snake, but it was really small, and my ego probably got in the way. I mean, it was a great price, and I was like, well, hell, I can fix this. I know it's small. It's probably not eating very well. I got this. I'm me. I'm Superman and shit, and I didn't have it, and the damn thing died. And we did end up having to force feed. Didn't work. So I don't know if something was sick with that snake or not, but I was really damn happy it was in my office and not my main collection. Ended up being a really expensive Sobek meal. David, don't worry. I mean, most likely it will. Let me tell you, I don't know if I've shared this or not yet, but Caleb and I need to get Caleb on here sometime. I like that kid. But Caleb and I, we're kind of the ones who seem to be working with the two-headed snake the most. Everybody else checks it, but I don't think anybody else fucks with it, do you guys? So it's kind of Caleb and mine's problem. And we've been able to get it to eat guppies. We know which head's the main head, but the other head, not interested. Couldn't get it to eat. So we actually had to say assist would be putting it pretty nice. It was pretty much a force feed. It was a force feed of the other head on Sunday. So I understand your nerves, but if it hasn't regurged, things are probably going to be all right. I can tell you that little thing got checked this morning, is doing fine, didn't regurge. It's good. So it's just something that's going to happen occasionally. It sucks when you have to do it. This was the hardest one I've ever done because the snake's so damn small. And with two heads, I can't hold it. Like usually I'd hold it right behind the jaw. And that's how I'd start working that in, boom, 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 no problem. I couldn't do that because there's two heads. So you're kind of really having to work, and we actually just used a foot of a pinky rat is what we fed it, and it did get it down. It was really strange because we got it in its mouth and we watched it. And, we have to worry about it not breathing because it's sharing a circulatory system. So if the other head's taking in air, it's breathing. Even if it stops breathing, its brain's still going to get oxygen from floating around through everything, right? Sharing one heart, one circulatory system, one set of lungs, two heads. But we got it in its mouth far enough, and then it just sat there with it for probably 15, 20 minutes. I'm like, okay, it ain't going to push it down. So I took the tongue, and I used the little tip of that because my finger's too big to slide that down a little further. And then it was able to get it kind of right past the kink. It went blip past the kink spot, and then it just sat there. We waited 5 minutes, still just sitting there. So I had to take my finger and just trace the belly, boom, shot right down. So it'll work, And it is weird, David. It feels weird. And the first time you force a ball python to eat, I felt like I was killing it. I did. You're holding, you're just cramming, and you feel like you're just destroying this animal. But every time I've only had one die right after force feeding, and it had a bunch of other problems. So look, it's Teller. I guess I missed that. Pretty much, but sometimes reassurance is all you need, man. Sometimes it goes a long way. Oh man, Kurt made his day for killing Bigfoot.
That's good.
How do we pick it? Usually it's people that we've watched or people that we've talked to a few times that we know, and we ask them and they accept and we do it. So yeah, and a lot of times, I've had to do it up to 3 or 4 times before, and usually they take off and they're good. Well, the guard snake overall is doing good. I think it's bigger. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, and I've seen it move around more.
Yeah, it seems like it has more energy than we first got it.
Yeah, sometimes you open up the cage when we first got it, it would just sit there. Now you open it up and it gets scared and kind of moves around.
Yeah. I've seen both tongues flick a lot. It does move really funny. And, I mean, it's always going to kind of be that way, I think. But it's doing good. Oh, because Kurt talks so little. Penn and Teller, we've been compared to Jay and Silent Bob. I think that's my favorite one. I'm not sure who's who, though. But, yeah, he's not a talker. You're just really not.
No.
And it's funny, because when I'm gone, there's been a few times he's had to do it. And, when we first started doing a few rat videos, I'm like, all right, Kurt, you got to do this. He's like, well, can't you do it? I'm like, how the hell am I going to do it? I don't work rats. Well, I'll tell you what you need to say, but can you do it? I'm like, no, you've got to do this. You've got to just get out of your comfort zone and just do it. I do think you've gotten better at it, though.
Yeah, somewhat.
It's still not something he enjoys, I don't think. It is Wolfgeist, but, I mean, it's still touch and go. You should have seen our partner. I mean, he's been kind of in a bad mood lately anyway. But we're in there, and Caleb and I are getting ready to do this. And, Joe, I introduced Joe as one of the new shop owners. He's in there, and he's literally kind of freaking out. He thinks, we're going to kill it. And I'm like, we might kill it, but if we don't do it, it's going to die anyway. And that's what force feeding really boils down to. You're taking an action on an animal that you feel is necessary for its survival. Unfortunately, it didn't die because, I don't know, I'd have been upset, and I think a few people would have been pissed, but I'm doing what I know is the right thing to do. And I can tell you from my day job that sometimes doing the right thing pisses people off. Kurt, I tell you, Kurt's funny as shit when he's drunk. All right, I can't say the person's name. He promised me never would, but our original Bigfoot, not the one he just killed. One time we were all sitting here before we ever started YouTube, I think, right? Or were we on YouTube yet?
I think we were.
We might have been. It was in really early days. And Kurt's drunk as shit. We're playing Cards Against Humanity. And this guy, he's a young guy. he was over here and he starts giving Kurt shit because Kurt had been winning, and then Kurt got so drunk he started losing because you can get too drunk to play Cards Against Humanity, and he figured out how to do it. And then he just looks at this guy, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, punches him right square in the balls. He's like the least violent human being I know. But just boom, nut punch, and then laughs about it hysterically. It was fucking great. I loved every minute of that. Yeah, well, yeah, I just told him I was thirsty. I'm like, well, I'll get the camera so you want to grab us a couple beers. And he brought back one. I'm like, should I get you one? No, I'm not thirsty. I'm like, okay. But I was like dying. I'm not drinking a lot. I'm drinking single beer just to wet my whistle. Oh, shit, it's fun. It is a blast. I mean, it turns horrible. You have to have a dark sense of humor to play it. I think one of my favorites was, there was a card that said, "What's Heaven Full of?" and I played Dead Parents. So it is a horrible game. A horrible game. It just, you got to put your, I don't know, anything that makes you a nice person, you got to put away for about 3 hours. So, yeah.
What's someone say about racks?
I didn't see anything about racks. Oh, so I just ordered a bunch of racks. Oh, man. I eyeball it. So, as far as weights go, it's more of an eyeball of how they fit for me, I mean, the biggest thing I have is probably 3,500, and they fit these fine. I've had ones I weigh that just, it depends on body size. So if you look at it and it just looks too small, move it up. If you move it up and it doesn't eat well, move it back. I mean, it's all about keeping that animal feeding. Their guidelines that TGR uses are pretty good, but again, for me, it's more visual than how much it weighs. So, oh, I bet not. I got my mom to play it once, and my aunt, and that was hilarious. I wish I could have recorded them because my aunt looked at my mom and said, I mean, we have this like off-brand expansion because I'm dirt ass cheap, and she looks at my mom and goes, "Well, Nancy, I think I prefer the tongue punch to the old fart box," and I about died. I was like, one of the best memories of my family I have. And David, it just depends. Like, you're probably talking about your timber, right? Now, your timber, if it's like my timber, they'll go a long time. I probably only get maybe 3 sheds a year out of reap, you think?
If that, yeah.
But they'll kind of just start to look like shit. Like, you'll get to a point that you're like, man, why did I pick this timber? And it's like kind of dark. And then all of a sudden the sides will turn blue. And then it'll shed. You're like, oh, that's why I picked it. They have a very, very drastic change when they shed versus when they haven't shed. So it's really kind of at random on how much they shed. Well, we might end up. You want to do a cleaning video tonight?
Sure.
I have 2 snakes that shed that are both killers. So we might clean those. I haven't got in those cages yet. I need to. But we have to film some stuff to be gone. There you go. Yeah, don't worry. If it hadn't shed yet, don't worry. If it's an adult, reaps never shed a whole lot. And that's normal for timbers. I think 1 to 3 is about par for wild timbers. Like when they're still in nature, you may get a little more in captivity because they're inside. One thing I'll tell you with that animal, so let's say you have a big long hunger strike, just turn your heat off and wait a couple weeks and then turn your heat back on, and that'll usually stimulate them to get back eating. No. Oh, you're talking about in their terrariums. Are you talking about your snakes, Catlin Rose, feed in your terrariums? I don't think so. I mean, I feed all mine in cage. So, talking about your rats, I mean, we use an over-the-top feeder for our rats in the racks. Yeah. And coconut's what I use on mine. I used aspen when I first got them. I switched to coconut. Now my westerns, I usually keep them on like a sand, with the exception of the scaleless and the purple haze. They don't have shed issues. When you switch to the rack system, oh no, no. If anything, they'll feed better because it's going to be dark in there when you close it, and that usually helps. I wouldn't worry about it. In the wild, one of the things they'll do, I've seen them do it a few times. They can't do it very well in tubs. I've seen it happen in glass actually more than tubs, just because of the rigidity of the glass. And tubs have a little flex to them. They'll press. So they like tight spaces. What I mean by press is when like a rodent were to go by, they would take their body and slam it up to the side of whatever hole they're in and just push it there. So just boom like that, and hold it, and that's how they will sometimes eat. With the tubs having a slight shape to them, that they pop out, but they will do fine. And I have not considered a bioactive display. And here's the thing, man, it's just we have no time between the two of us. Like, I mean, how much free time do you think you have a week?
This right now, it's not free.
This is not free, yeah. And I'm in the same boat. So like, all my time pretty much is dedicated to either my day job or this. I may get like 25 minute swim in for exercise 3 times a week. That's about it. Like that's what I got. I eat dinner in bed most nights. Like I could tell you guys. So anything that adds a lot of time right now, and it can't be streamlined like a bioactive would, to get it set up and run in the room, it just isn't in the cards. Now, if everything goes really, really well, I mean really, really well, and Patreon would have to keep growing, and YouTube would need to keep growing, and our production have to continue to increase to feed that, and eventually we will be able to, pay for all of our reptile bills, which we do now. I mean, I'm not saying we can't do that now. We pay our reptile bills pretty easy right now. But we'd also be able to replace his income and my income, and then we could stop our day jobs, and we can do just this. And that's really the goal. And then that would, if you didn't have to go to work every day, how much free time would you have to do more shit like this?
A little bit more.
A little bit more? Just a little?
I'm not there yet.
I'd have an ass load. So we would be, doing a lot more traveling, doing a lot more filming, just doing a lot more. I've had a lot to say, I wish you'd do daily vlogs. Well, I get to that point, I likely will do daily vlogs because every day will be dedicated to my animals, as opposed to now where I can't. I just physically can't do that. So that's what we're working towards, and we hope to get there. Yeah, it'll be retirement in name only. I think there was a question up here I missed. Oh, I'm sorry, Brad. I'm guessing by on vacation, he's going to send you to a nice beach with no water. If that's the case, that sucks. Force 3 tires, spend more time oogling your snakes. I thought you said wanted to, but I hope I don't get forced. I don't think I'm anywhere near being forced right now, but truth be told, my line of work, I'm one bad step, one bad fight, one bad something away from it. So if I were to blow my knee and not be able to recover perfectly and do all the little stupid physical tasks they make us do, then they'd be like, medical retirement, see you, bye. So, it's always a thing. But I will be retired by the time I'm 55. I can promise you that. I will not be a cop anymore than 55. I will not be a cop anymore than 50. So even if this were to not allow me to do that earlier, by the time I'm 50, this is my only job. The only exception to that would be maybe working like a part-time job for the airline to fly for free, but that'd be it. Because I don't want to. I want to work for myself, and I like this. Like, this is what I want to do with my time. If I could spend every day doing this, I would. Jimmy, my limit's probably going to be less than 400. And that's because I don't want to have employees. I want it to be Kurt and I. Maybe have like a guy we hire on the side for when we're gone. Which would probably be, if I had to pick it today, probably Redneck Jeff. Would you agree? Probably. He's reliable for us, and he could come up and check shit when I'm not around. Other than that, I don't want to have more than that. So, like, for our limit, you're probably talking about 120 females. That's probably our limit. And then the males to support that, the grow ups to replace, and then you have babies. You have 100 clutches. You're talking 700 babies. So you'd swell at times to 1,000 snakes, and up and down, and up and down, and up and down. But that would be, I would say, our limit. Partly on size. If we go bigger than that, then we can't do the Patreon house the way I want. I would have to get rid of the display room and run that ball pythons, or have to get rid of the ability for people to stay there. And I don't want to do that. I think it's a cool thing. Oh, you can't have a home business? That does suck. You just don't have to call it a business. Like, if you don't call it a business, then, I don't know, I think you're fine. I'm not going to tell on you. Fuck Uncle Sam. Kurt will, though. He's a snitch. Look at him. It's always the quiet ones. All right, guys. I'm with you. You know, I say that, but I love parts of it. Like, I love our history. I love our military. You know, I love those parts of things, but I hate, like, I hate politicians. I'll just say it. They just piss me off. The Pacific Northwest, I'd like to. I don't know when, but I would definitely like to. But you still have to report hobby profits. Well, Lindsay, in that case, I will tell you, if you do an LLC, which is what we've done, and I say we, he did most of that, then you do have the ability to deduct everything. And the nice thing is, like, it's like when we go to Florida, we're going to drive. If he goes, we're taking his truck. I think. Still want to take that? Okay. If he doesn't go, I'm taking my Jeep. And we'll be able to take that mileage. And if I'm the one who says my Jeep, then I'll take that mileage at like 53 cents a mile. I'll deduct all of that. But I can only deduct it from my business income. So, like, the LLC, if I make this much, and I can deduct this much off of it, I can zero out my income and not pay taxes or anything. And that's really the goal. You know, it's not that hard to do if you're using it out of your house, because you get to claim half your house or part of your house and this and that. There's a lot of little quirks. I really recommend getting an accountant for that. I did it myself the first year. I did it quasi right, but not completely right. It was like, it could work, but if they ever really dug into it, you're going to have some splaining to do. One of those, you know, you're going to survive, but it's going to be a pucker factor for a while. And when he does it, it's smooth, it's simple. He finds more. And I think my accountant's quote was, I will do everything I can to screw the government for you, except for go to prison. So that's the accountant you want to hire, as a guy that says something like that. It's going to find you every deduction he can possibly find you, but I don't expect him to go to jail for me. So that's kind of where it is. Okay, we've been doing this for about 42 minutes. So if you guys got any more questions, shoot them at us now. We'll try to answer them, especially if you got some for this guy, because you don't get this opportunity as often. Kind of old hat on here all the time. But then we got to go film a few other things. No, Wolf guys, we don't know if it's the world's first in there. I mean, I think we probably have one. What do you think?
Probably.
I think we probably got one, but I don't know. I mean, we're not gonna know until they come up
the banana.
If we hit anything Banana Blitz Calico, it's a world first. If we hit Banana Blitz Calico Black Pastel, woohoo, it'd be a really good world's first. Everything else, I'd have to like do some checking, and you know. And hitting the world's first isn't as big of a deal as I think it once was, you know. But it was on our bucket list. It really was. And our first one was the Champagne Blitz, the shits. And once I kind of crossed off my bucket list of, I've done that, it didn't become as important of a thing. Like, it's not. I did that pairing simply to be the first to do it. I'm not gonna lie. But the Calico Blitz, I did it because I thought it would interact like Pastel and Calico do, and I was wrong. Had a vastly different interaction that I think is way more cool. So I'm kind of happy how it turned out. And Daytona, yes. So look for that post in Daytona. Let me know what day you guys want to get together. Confirm who's going so I can get some numbers. We can get together, have a meal, do all that kind of fun stuff.
On adding new Venomous? No.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Right now at your house?
Oh, no. Yeah. But yes. Not at the house. We got to do some work and finish all the permit crap up, and then we'll probably I don't care if you bring your brother along. That's fine. I mean, here's the thing, I want to be clear now, this is an at your own dinner. But we're all gonna eat together. Yes, we do want to do some more for the zoo. This is going to be some time, and we won't be able to pick them up in Daytona. When we get all of that okayed 100%, everybody gets on board and the shop isn't broke, which is like never, it's always fucking broke, then I'll probably take a trip, maybe somebody else with me, and we'll probably go to a place like, you know, I'm leaning towards Hamburg, because Hamburg has one of the best venomous shows in the nation, and they have a little bit of everything. So we'll be able to go there and really pick what we want. When we start breeding, we'll be going to Hamburg and doing a lot of selling, I think. But he doesn't like snakes. Well, he's going to have to get the fuck over it. Because Daytona's going to be full of snakes. Daytona's awesome. Man, it's right on the beach. I can't wait to go. Sorry you're not going.
It's okay.
Have you been to the beach?
I've been to a beach.
What beach?
Cocoa Beach. I've been to the beach down in Georgia, the beach down in Florida or Texas.
So he's been to a few beaches. He's got it covered. A dwarf retic? Oh man. Ugh. I probably won't get into retics. Are you wanting into retics? They're just not my thing. You know, they're cool. I mean, I know Gary.
I would love to get what's the cow retic?
The cow. Well,
Yeah, isn't that?
if we got a cow, I'd name it Kenny.
Yeah.
That would be. I'd name it Kenny. Anybody get why we would call it Kenny? Probably not. It's a long stretch. Do you get why I want to call it Kenny? South Park cows.
Oh.
Ah, Brad got it. Yeah, something got it. Boo. Oh, speaking of one other last thing, and then I'll get off of here and we'll go do the rest of our shit. Is we did post, but I want to get some verbal response too, and I don't want just positive. Well, I mean, if it is positive, that's great. But if you have, like, don't do it, it's stupid. Let me know that too, because I want both sides of it. So you saw Kurt murder our Bigfoot, and we've talked for some time. We filmed that what, a month ago, 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago.
Filmed what?
The Bigfoot murdering.
2 weeks.
2 weeks ago. We've been talking about since then about maybe making like a series of making fun of Monster Hunters TV, I think the show was, and like Sasquatch Hunters and all that, and going out and camping and filming a whole bunch of shit with Bigfoot screwing with us and everything else. So what I want to know is, and on the comments it was really like, oh, everybody said, yeah, you should do it. But I'm going to imagine if there's anybody that thought, that's stupid, don't do it, they probably wouldn't bother to comment because most of you are nice people. And I'd have been fine with it. I was looking for both sides. So I want to know what your thoughts are on that. Is that something you'd enjoy watching? We would not be making a separate Patreon at all. It would just be mostly for fun. Film it and watch it sober. We'll probably do, I thought we could get Bigfoot drunk sometime. And we've got some different skits planned. The way it would work would be 5-minute or less videos. So easy and quick to digest. Pretty slapsticky, pretty goofy, you know, just whatever fun shit I can dream up. And then we'd go out on one camping trip and do an entire season in one stop. It could sometimes, Lindsay. Sometimes we may just camp and do just this if we're not going to a spot to herp. But if we're going to a spot for herping, there will be some crossover. But my thought was really keeping both those channels fully separate because I'm not sure if those crowds overlap enough. I don't want to piss off, or like I don't want people who subscribe to us to go, oh, well, they're doing this now, I'm not going to watch anymore, or vice versa. I figure there'll be some overlap, but I didn't know if it was enough to fully cross. I kind of got that idea because we started trying to overlap with some Jeep and camping stuff, and it never did very well. Yes, it would be a new channel. That doesn't mean we may not go somewhere where we can herp and film herping stuff there, and then also on the side film Bigfoot stuff, you know, and do like both at once in one trip and kill two birds with one stone. Jack Links may, and I don't really care if they do, they can sue me. You know, I mean, they probably won't. But if they do, they can. I'll give them the 3 cents that I have to my name, and they can take my debt. That'd be great, right? You give Jack Links your debt. Maybe they'll sponsor us.
Maybe they'll just, what do they call it? They'll just take the money from our YouTube video.
Copyright infringement us?
Yeah.
I don't think they can. They don't. We won't call it Sasquatch. We'll call it a Sam Squamch. We'll call it a Sam Squamch. That way they cannot copyright infringe us.
They don't have the copyright to Sasquatch.
The Sasquatch. That's true, they don't. So, the hell with those guys. So, good idea or bad idea? And go. It's pretty silent, Kurt. Man. I don't know if anybody's going to respond to that. You haven't seen it yet. Oh, you're killing me. Send it. Oh, like filming, I'm guessing you mean by send it. Wolf Guy sits our last Olympus Reptiles news. Kurt goes out and bow hunts one and murders it. This would be more of less of us just killing Bigfoot and more of us like
trying to find it.
Trying to find Bigfoot and like Bigfoot fucking with us. You know, like we'd do some like cameras and, you know, a few like it'd be comedy is what it would be. Although I did have an idea for it I didn't tell you about. How about a season finale of Choose Your Own Adventure?
I saw that on the post.
Oh, you like that?
Yeah, it's just a lot of work and planning.
It's a lot of work for him. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next week, and as soon as those babies out the egg, I will let you know what we think we have, and we'll go from there. See you next week.